49ers and the Ravens. This is a historic regular season matchup. So decided to swim in San Francisco Bay next to some historic ships. The Balclutha behind me. This is the Maritime Park, by the way, over by Aquatic Park. Rotate around and you'll see the Eureka. Used to be part of the Northwestern Pacific lines. I think the Eureka made its way between San Francisco and Sacramento. Anyway, 49ers Ravens, who's going to win this game? Or better yet, will the 49ers beat the Ravens? So many things to look at in this matchup. And I boil it down to the Ravens and the 49ers obviously are two of the best teams ever through 14 games based on all the advanced measurements and DVOA, EPA per play, whatever you want to look at. Even the simple stats are really impressive for these teams. But the Ravens, to me, have advantages in two areas. The 49ers have an advantage in one area. That's distinct. And the 49ers advantage, though, is massive in their one area. First, for the Ravens, they've got the best run offense in the game. The rotor on this ship, by the way. Look at that. I'm going to swim out this way so we can see a little bit more. But the 49ers have the best... the Ravens have the best run offense in the game. And that's even without Keaton Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell's really damn good, but Gus Edwards is a worthy backup. Lamar Jackson obviously can run better than any quarterback in the league. So Baltimore with a good offensive line, good running game, they're in line to give the 49ers run defense, which has really struggled, a hell of a challenge. And it's going to be imperative for the 49ers to man up in the run game. They're probably not going to have Eric Armstead. So when that's the case, defensive tackle play has to be better than it was last week, but especially that linebacker play has to be better. And I think it's going to help that Dre Greenlaw practiced this week. He had the hip last week and he didn't practice, and I think that was a significant impediment for the 49ers. But Fred Warner's going to have to be better, and by extension he will be, if he's got Dre Greenlaw firing in the right gaps this time around. The 49ers have to be better tackling. They've got an extra day of rest. I don't know if all these things are going to help them overcome the disadvantage that they have, but the 49ers are the number 18 team against the run, and the Ravens are the number 1 team running the football. So Baltimore's going to be trying to take the air out of this game with possession, with the run game, and the 49ers have to find a way to stop them from doing that. And it's not just stopping Gus Edwards, who's a 238-pound bowling ball. It's also about stopping Lamar Jackson, staying disciplined, obviously, in the pass rush when the Ravens are throwing. And the reason this is such a monumental challenge is because Lamar Jackson is throwing really well from the pocket this year, more than ever. And he's throwing on time, in rhythm. He's averaging the most yards per attempt on short passes this year. The rhythm stats are all good. So Steve Wilks said it yesterday. This is going to be a game of details. The team that's most detailed is going to win this game, because each offense is going to have its own, right? Each offense is going to be able to deliver. But when I get to the 49ers key, I'll explain why I think they may have the overall advantage here, because I think the Ravens absolutely will be able to move the ball, score some points against the 49ers. But if San Francisco's on its defensive details, they'll be able to reasonably limit what Baltimore does. Maybe get a turnover or two. The 49ers lead the league in turnover differential. They have the most takeaways and the fewest giveaways. Stuff like that is massive in a game like this. The second Ravens advantage comes on special teams. Justin Tucker, maybe the greatest kicker of all time. You look at Tylan Wallace, punt return for a touchdown, 76 yards, beat the Rams a few weeks ago. The 49ers haven't had a punt return for a touchdown since 2011, the season opener with Ted Ginn against the Seahawks. So the 49ers special teams is ranked down near the bottom. The Ravens are in the top 10. You've got to play that to a draw if you're the 49ers. Otherwise, you lose your favorite status in this game. And the reason the 49ers have the favorite status in this game is I've kind of managed to tread water out to the more middle part of the aquatic park so you can see the boats behind me. There you can see the Dolphin Club. Maybe we'll do this with the Golden Gate Bridge now. The reason the 49ers have the favorite status in this game is because their advantage is their offense and its explosiveness, and it is significantly more explosive than almost any other offense to have played in the NFL. I mean, this is historic what we're seeing from the 49ers. It's going to be Brock Purdy and all of his weapons. McCaffrey against the good Ravens defense, but so far we haven't seen anybody that's been able to slow down this 49ers offense when they've had their weapons in place, and they do have their primary weapons in place in this game. I think that the geometry of what the 49ers are able to do out there when they do space out the weapons, when they do have McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel playing adaptable roles, when George Kittle is threatening the way that he can in both the run game and the pass game, especially when they run left. I mean, that takes a lot of defensive resources to stop, with big Trent Williams blocking out there for Christian McCaffrey. I think when the 49ers play their cards right, and they have played their cards right because Brock Purdy's been so damn good, they are an offense that's essentially unguardable. And the explosiveness they can deliver can outpace the points that Baltimore, I think, will inevitably score against the 49ers defense. So the answer to the question, will the 49ers beat the Ravens, is yes. The 49ers will beat the Ravens. They're better, but this is going to be the biggest challenge of the season. The Ravens have those 50 sacks. They lead the league. Jadeveon Clowney on the line. Kyle Hamilton on the back end at safety. He could rove around. He's got 3 sacks himself. I mean, you look at the linebacker position, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, probably the best linebackers outside of Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. Linebackers might determine this game. They're good on both sides. I see this being close. The prediction, of course, is going to come tomorrow with the exact score, but I do think that the 49ers will beat the Ravens here, as I'm starting to get a little bit cold in the water. But this is December 23rd in San Francisco in the morning. Doesn't get much better than this, does it? 49ers will beat the Ravens. We'll have much, much, much more coverage for you before kickoff. So we'll talk to you all soon.